Eagles were the better team. I can't say it any other way.
I don't really think everybody knows what they're about to witness.
I know talent when I see one. I should be an NFL scout.
Jonathan, I don't like that pick. I love that pick.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dorm Debate Podcast. Man, oh man, did we see one of the greatest games of all time on Monday? I mean,
I don't know about all time, but it was a good game.
Maybe it's too fresh. Maybe that's recency bias. That game, the ups and downs, the emotional roller coaster. For just me, I'm not even a Jets fan. I am wearing my Bills hat. I'm not a Bills fan, but for Jets fans, especially people in the stadium, oh my goodness, the emotional roller coaster you guys must have been on. I can't even imagine. First of all, you got to pay like $1,000 just to get in the stadium. And then Rodgers goes down 4 plays in, 75 seconds. You're like, oh, we lost. You're thinking the worst. But Josh Allen, what an idiot, dude. He just
hands it to them.
Basically keeps them in the game for, I don't know, whatever reason. Whitehead, the safety for the Jets, 3 interceptions. Then Josh Allen fumbling the ball. He doesn't know what to do. I mean, I couldn't believe it. The roller coaster was insane. It was the most watched Monday Night Football game of all time, guys.
Wow.
Of all time.
That's crazy.
That is insane.
That's the Aaron Rodgers effect, which adds some more poetry to this.
Yeah, dude. So we're gonna talk about Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, the schedule today, we'll talk about Aaron Rodgers, and then obviously we will go into our lock and upsets. You're gonna want to see lock and upset. There is a leaderboard change, so stay tuned for that. But before we get into that, Aaron Rodgers, the big story. We don't need to tell you guys. You guys already know. Tore his ACL 75 seconds into his Jets debut. Just a horrible, horrible sight. I mean, John and I were watching. He knew right away. Looking at the sideline, just a blank stare, ends up sitting down, laying down. And I think he knew right away that it was his Achilles. And it's just unfortunate. I mean, we saw J.K. Dobbins on Sunday, tore his Achilles, and he's been recovering from an ACL tear and all that stuff. So it just sucks to see these guys go out in week 1, but more so for Aaron Rodgers as he's 40 years old. You know, people are saying maybe he might retire. Can he even come back and be full form? And is it even worth it to rehab that Achilles? So a lot of things are going on right now with the Jets. The good thing is you guys won the battle. You guys won against the Bills last night in amazing fashion, but many say you've lost the war because now you don't have Aaron Rodgers for the whole season. Let's dive into that a little bit. I have a segment called Would You Rather Have Zach Wilson or? Now, Zach Wilson, he had a higher QBR rating than some people. Daniel Jones, Josh Allen. So he didn't play terrible. But you could obviously see the drastic change from Aaron Rodgers to Zach Wilson. It seems like Zach Wilson hasn't really improved since last year. Hasn't done much. So I'm going to list out some players, and you tell me if you'd rather have Zach Wilson or said player. First off, we're going to go into the free agent section because this is more reasonable. Carson Wentz. Caleb, one of your favorite players, former Eagle, Carson Wentz. He's now a free agent, was on the Colts, was on the Commanders last year, now free agent, up for grabs. Would you guys rather have Zach Wilson or Carson Wentz? Caleb, why don't you start us off?
That's a tough one. Throwing it to me right away. Because I'll be honest, I as a person will be a fan of Wentz and everything he did for the Eagles, but I think I started saying this towards the end of last year that I no longer see him being the guy. He's had so many chances to prove himself, and I think that door's closed. Now, if the question is Zach Wilson or Wentz, I will say I'd rather Wilson, but they will need to invest in a good backup. And I think, depending on what your options are, I think Wentz would be a serviceable backup because I think the 49ers made that mistake when Purdy went down in the playoffs. Like at this point, you got to start reinforcing the backups, you know? So I think that's going to be an important question moving forward. But Wilson was in the system, and it's going to be tough to find anyone else. So I would actually keep Wilson in that specific.
Wow.
Okay, 1
I
point
think
for
Wentz could have a
Wilson.
good career
That's
as a good backup,
surprising
though.
from you.
I think
Caleb.
I've changed. Yeah, I mean, he was on the perfect situation with the Colts, and then how many chances, and he's got those flashes of brilliance. But I don't think we'll really understand what fully happened outside of like the quips we've heard of like injury issues, and then maybe like personality, whatever that means. Like how many times that he can do it. So, but I think he could have a great career as a backup. And then who knows if he ever has a moment to shine in the future. I don't know if he'll humble himself to take that deal, but in that case, I think he'd be a good backup.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. I think a backup, but I would still rather have Wilson. I mean, look, if Wentz came to the team or any of these backups or any of these free agents that you're going to list or retirees or trade options, they've got to learn the offense. I mean, Zach Wilson knows this offense better than anybody that's going to come in, not to mention that he's the only quarterback, I think, on their roster. So they're definitely going to need to sign somebody. It's just who. But for right now, Zach Wilson is a better option than Carson Wentz. He knows the offense more. And look, Garrett Wilson won Offensive Rookie of the Year last year, partly with Zach Wilson at quarterback. Flacco was also there. Mike White, I think, played a couple games, but for the most part, it was Zach Wilson. So he's not a scrub. Like you said, he had a better QBR than Daniel Jones and Josh Allen, who made terrible decisions all night. But I think he's the best option for this team right now. And honestly, he could grow into a little bit better than he is. I don't think he's going to be the franchise guy, but for this season, I think it's serviceable.
I think this win from yesterday gave Zach Wilson a lot of confidence. Guys, he went 14 of 21, 81%, right, QBR. That's better than, like you said, Josh Allen, but also Joe Burrow. And it's even better than Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes had like 77 QBR, but, if you watch the game, you know it's because of the drops from his receivers. So I think...
the QBR takes that into account.
Oh, really? Okay, well,
Yeah.
He had a better game than Patrick Mahomes, too. So I think people are Peyton Manning and all these guys were criticizing him last night and all that. I didn't really like that. I think he improved since last year. He made crucial throws. That touchdown pass to Garrett Wilson, I mean, he had the confidence to make that throw.
That was a bad throw.
He threw it. It was
Jonathan,
it was in his vicinity.
Come on.
He touched it.
It was in his
easy. He's got the wingspan long as shit.
If you call yourself a receiver one, you have to catch those. Travis,
he did.
Colorado. You look at the college football; they throw it to the best receivers.
Dude, but the thing is, if Garrett Wilson dropped that, if Wilson dropped that, everybody would have been like, "Oh, okay, no, it was a bad throw. There's nothing."
I mean, that's the excuse people to say, but believe me, internally, the coaches take note of that. If you're truly receiver one, then when it comes to the goal line, it shows that you want the ball. So Zach Wilson just threw it in his vicinity. It's your job as a receiver to grab that. If you're truly receiver one.
So Zach Wilson didn't do anything.
No, he caught it. That's why he's a receiver one. He proved last night that, hey, I'm a receiver one. I'm one of the best receivers in the league. Okay, the best receivers in the league. Des Bryant, when he was one of the best receivers in the league, anytime Hunter Romo threw it to him, he was caught it and he was stripped the X. That's what we want to see. So Zach Wilson did his job. He threw it in his vicinity. He caught it. So not only that, but if you saw plays leading up to that, he was making crucial throws. He was just whipping it out on third down, third and long, and all that. He was whipping it out. This guy's confident now. This win will give him confidence. And I saw.
Yeah, but when your defense gets you 4 turnovers, it's easy to just like kind of hold the ball and.
Yeah, but he's doing enough. He's improved since last year. In this first game, I saw improvements. He's making those crucial throws. And when he knew he was in trouble, he threw the ball out of bounds. He did all that. That's better than Josh Allen, who wants to be the hero.
That is true, yeah.
He did exactly what you want him to do. So that's why Coach Saleh said, hey, this is our guy. I don't care what anybody says. This is our guy. We're going with him. I think they'll be successful with this guy. I think he's going to continue to grow. And he was under Aaron Rodgers for a few weeks during training camp. He learned a lot from him. He's become more football smart a little bit. It's only going to improve. And guess what? Aaron Rodgers he's not going anywhere. He's just going to stay in the building and kind of coach him up. This guy, believe me, I'm bullish on Zach Wilson. He's going to get better and better since Aaron Rodgers is under him.
You're buying stock in Zach Wilson?
I am. And so with that being said, yes, I pick Zach Wilson over Carson Wentz.
Okay.
Carson Wentz is already developed. Zach Wilson is still young. He's still growing.
I would also go with Zach Wilson. Nothing more to add, I'll be honest. It's just from what I've seen from Wentz. It's like Caleb said, too many chances. What's different with this one? The next one, a guy that you may think is retired, but he is not officially retired, Mr. Matt Ryan, Matty Ice.
Oh my gosh.
He technically is not retired yet.
He's eating nachos in the booth.
He is eating nachos in the booth right now.
Like a Jeff Saturday situation. Like he's a commentator and then he's called back into the field once more.
Exactly. It could happen. We've seen it done before. So, look, Matt Ryan had a pretty tough stint.
He knows better.
Pretty tough stint. Did he have a lot of weapons in the Colts? No. He's a Falcons legend. It wouldn't hurt. I say no, because I think it's just that you're on the decline. I think you need someone who's kind of at their peak. If
right,
not
I mean,
anything.
Zach Wilson can get better than he is now. Matt Ryan can't get better than he is right now.
Yeah, if anything, he's gotten worse. So I personally, I'm going to stick with Zach Wilson in this one. But that's not saying much. I just want to say that. Caleb?
Well, yeah, I mean, Matt Ryan, I think I'm still, if the question is who's the starter, I'm kind of more on Jonathan's side. If you think about Zach Wilson's story, he kind of got drafted into a terrible situation. Because, John, you mentioned, I don't think anyone's quite thinking that he's the franchise quarterback. But on the other hand, like, it's one of those stories that we've said on this podcast before that a lot of time these rookie quarterbacks are drafted to be the franchise quarterback of an organization that's either not run well or they don't give them any support. And then 2 years later, they're like, oh, they're not the guy. And I think that's a little bit of Wilson. So we haven't quite seen what he can do. So if he has the confidence, a guy like Aaron Rodgers still being in the building, being that backup quarterback, if you will, because one of the things I've thought about recently is like some of these backup quarterbacks that are journeyman quarterbacks are just constantly like the number two. What makes them great is maybe they're not seeing the field, but when they're in the quarterback room, they're personable and they're adding to what the starting guy could do. So Rodgers can do that. With these names you're mentioning, I still think I'd rather, if he wants to, who knows how the rehab will go if he'll want to do that. I would still rather a Wentz than a Ryan in the backup position. I'm going to stick with Wilson as number one in that case. I thought you were going to say another retired player's name.
Tony Romo.
I won't say
Tom
I won't
Brady.
say until he passes. Yep.
No, he's not on the list.
Brady.
He's done.
Okay, well
it's
then,
over.
because that'd be so. If it was Tom Brady, then I think
the answer would all be yes. You know,
how
Yeah, I mean,
crazy? Who would have
obviously.
thought? Tell you 10 years ago that Brady and Rodgers would be on the same roster if that's what
Oh my
that
God.
happened.
Dude,
Can you imagine?
I would
And
say
if they won a Super Bowl with Brady on the Jets and then Aaron Rodgers gets a
Dude,
second
no, they
ring,
should
like
they should play in the backfield together. Imagine like
it'd be too
who's
dramatic.
going to throw
Too
the
much
ball.
drama.
I would say yes to Brady over Zach Wilson.
If Brady
maybe
was
until
down for
like
it? Yeah.
I would say until he hits the age of 50. I'd probably decline and say, okay, maybe you shouldn't be playing football because you might die. But it would be close. Like Tom Brady at 50 and Zach Wilson, like it's close. But he's not on the list. But John?
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Matt Ryan should definitely never come back into the NFL. He's just on the decline. And
Wow.
Wilson, if anything, could get better at this point.
You'd rather Wentz be the number two?
Yes.
If those were the options, I'd agree.
Okay.
So I would actually think that Matt Ryan. This is a close one because he ran the same offense with the Falcons. Matt Ryan did, so he knows this offense actually pretty good. So if anybody can come in, I'll say Matt Ryan's a close guy that can come
Wait,
in.
what do you mean by that?
Apparently, he ran the same offense that the Jets run. He's familiar with it. It was similar to the ones he ran, to the one he ran on the Falcons. So he spent a good amount of time on the Falcons.
Interesting analysis.
So he knows this offense pretty good. So in terms of plug and play, if you want him to start like this upcoming week, he probably could do it. Matt Ryan probably.
He's never played with any of the receivers. What do you mean?
You just got to put in the vicinity, John. Just put in the vicinity.
put in the
Can't
vicinity.
dude, he cannot start 1 week after joining the team.
He could.
Put anything.
That's impossible.
Hey, it's just like backyard football. He could do it.
I mean, I don't think
the top tier NFL, just like backyard football. You're just playing catch at the end of the day.
If you want him to lose 28-3, that's fine. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, all you need is a good game manager at this point because now we all know the offense is going to run through the running backs, Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook. So you need somebody that will run the offense well, function it, be able to throw some deep balls here and there. Matt Ryan's the guy. And so in terms of him versus Zach Wilson, I'm going Matt Ryan.
oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's
He has
actually the
experience.
wrong
He's been
answer. That's
he's
a
been
bad
to
answer.
he's been to a Super Bowl. He's experienced.
He's won an MVP.
He's won the MVP. He knows what he's doing. He ran the offense before on the Falcons. Put Matt Ryan.
Okay.
in there.
All right.
He
I like
younger.
that.
Is he younger than Rodgers as well, Matt Ryan?
He might be.
I think he might actually. It's just
We get a
crazy the
fact check on
longevity
that?
of Brady and let me look into it.
While you're doing that, I'm going to say the next name. And he also
He's 38.
38. Okay. Rodgers is what, 38, 39?
I think he's 39.
Oh, okay. Next guy, also an old guy, but he knows this offense pretty well. We've partnered back up with Manscaped to give you guys 20% off and free shipping on all their items. That includes the Beard Hedger and all their below-the-waist grooming products. We all know how injuries can ruin a season, so let Manscaped protect that Reggie Bush of yours with their skin-safe technology. The leaders in below-the-waist grooming have created a championship lineup with their Performance Package 4.0. And it's time for you to do the same. Join the 9 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get ready for kickoff by going to manscaped.com and getting 20% off and free shipping when you use the code DORMDebate. Joe Flacco. A lot of people saying Flacco. I'm going to say I would rather have Joe Flacco than Zach Wilson. I'm going to be honest because he can sling the ball better than Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson ain't much more agile than Joe Flacco. He's not that great. And he is knowledgeable about this offense. He played with it for the last 2 or 3 years. So you could start him day one, John. Just have a little refresher.
Yeah, but the thing is, we've seen him in this offense. We saw him last year. In the first game, he was fine, but then he just sucked. I mean, there's a reason he's not on the roster anymore.
Exactly.
If he was better than Zach Wilson, he would have been on why not keep a third quarterback?
Well, because he's old. You already have...
Exactly, why are you suggesting him to freaking start?
You can't have an old backup. You can only have an old
starter, though?
You can have an old starter. You can't have an old backup.
This makes sense now.
I don't...
At least Zach Wilson's a little bit more mobile. He can run when he's in trouble.
A tiny bit.
Well, that's the one trade-off is like, I mean, I think one of you guys mentioned being a game manager type, like there's something, even Rodgers at his age, I think we know there's certain things that no one else in the league could do, even Brady, even that was always the conversation. But one thing you would get with a younger quarterback is it opens up the deep option a bit more. And I think what's different than with all these, with I think Ryan's situation towards the end, Flacco's as well. I mean, Flacco's on the Eagles, so maybe went the Jets, but like having Wilson, having Hall and Cook, they have supreme talents now. I think Wilson, for me, like finally like showing up in that big game, that they have the guy that you can be like. I think you guys mentioned like even Bryant back in the day, but Kelsey, like your go-to guy that when it's third and long and you need to convert, you're just tossing it up to them generally, unless it's like quadruple coverage. You're giving it to them to make a magic, like make a play happen. And I think you got a guy like that. So having a younger guy can throw deeper, I think we kind of saw towards, Brady's career a little bit with Rodgers, though he still had it, despite the Achilles, but he could throw it deep. But these older players, they become more of a game. They don't turn the ball over and be able to make some small, like short to intermediate length throws. With Wilson, you might be able to go deeper now, and you have the guy. So I think the challenge for him is if he doesn't turn it over, and can play that part rather than be a superhero. Yeah. And if you can inspire confidence, which I don't know.
John, you're a no on Flacco?
Nope.
Okay, Jonathan?
Yep, I'm a no.
And ridiculous. This guy won a Super Bowl, for God's sake.
How many years ago?
Back in the frickin' 2012.
You know what? Bring Eli back. I want him over Zach Wilson.
Well, saying that, but then what? How long ago since Rodgers won the Super Bowl?
Even longer.
Like it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So, but obviously, he's still even last year was balling, so he has the skill. But I think Wilson's the guy. Unless the Jets want to do something crazy, like I don't think trade specifically for Lance, but like something like poaching a young talent.
I heard Colin Kaepernick too.
That's a good one. Yeah, I have him on the list.
Kaepernick as well. Yeah,
I have him.
But I feel like
I
hear Kaepernick every year whenever there's an opening.
Yeah,
at some point it's like the ghost. It's like nothing against him personally. It's just like every time the quarterback goes down, they're like, "Hey, I'm available." Same with Cam Newton.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. They're like, oh, yeah, Colin Kaepernick's agent showed interest in the Jets job. And it's like...
It's just the headline every time.
Bro,
it's not even at this point what he's got. It's just like...
I've shown interest in Selena Gomez. That doesn't mean anything. That makes no sense. Like, how is that even news? It's ridiculous. So Kaepernick, we can just knock him out. That's a no from everybody.
Yeah, no.
Trading for someone? I don't know. I don't know if that's... I think
no, Kaepernick. Because he's a free agent. No,
Kaepernick, yeah. But I'm just saying, like, I think they're going to stick with Wilson. But like, they have a team.
I got
that
more
really-
guys.
They were a quarterback away.
Don't worry, Caleb.
This
He has more
list
coming.
ain't done.
Okay, I'm
Don't
curious,
say
I'm
Wilson
curious.
just yet. I have a couple more guys that'll pique
All
your
right,
interest,
all right.
Caleb.
Yeah, I'm curious.
All right. The first one is so to end off the free agent list. That was it. Okay, that was Colin Kaepernick. Okay, now on to the tradable targets. Tradable targets. These ones are a lot better and more beefier candidates that I think most of you will say yes to. Gardner Minshew, now on the Eagles. He played on the Jags, played on the Colts. He played for the Eagles, now is on the Colts. Played and started for the Jags a couple times. Very serviceable, probably one of the best backups in the league. Gardner Minshew, guys, I'm going to say yes. Gardner Minshew is a guy that I believe in to be a solid top-tier backup and can service you in many games. I would say 5 to 6 games. This guy could win you probably 3 of the 5. So I'm going Gardner Minshew, and I hope
3 of the 5.
I hope that all you say yes, because if you say no, you're lying to yourself, Caleb.
You're right. There are other names. That's a good one.
And I got an Eagles player, even though he was
I
only
think-
there for 1 year.
I know, but he, against that one, I mean, he lost when they had to play against the Cowboys, but he put up some incredible numbers. Like, I think one of the reasons the Eagles went on is they obviously paid Hurts so much money, but Minshew is
He's
good
that
of
guy.
a backup that you'd have to pay more than probably the Eagles would want, having just paid Hurts a huge contract.
Nah, give him a
So-
7th rounder and call it a day. Give him a
that's a tough-
any Georgia
Ooh.
players on the Jets roster they don't need. Just send them to the Eagles.
I think that's a player. It's hard to, if the systems, I'm not as intimate as to whether the systems are similar, but I think the ceiling is much higher with Minshew potentially.
Okay.
I would say if like 5 weeks down the line, Wilson's not working because they have the pieces to contend. That's what Rodgers was doing for them. Like they were a quarterback away, had the defense, they got the weapons on the receiving core and the running back. If Wilson's like, he's just not it, and they don't want to like reach deep into the bag, I think you put Minshew on top.
Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
Minshew mania back.
No,
John?
I would not.
No,
Minshew.
stop it.
He's not as good as Zach Wilson. This is the best option in terms of backup. If you're looking for somebody to back up Wilson, Minshew is the best option. But to be honest, this would never happen because the Colts want him as a backup to Anthony Richardson just in case anything happens because he is a good backup. But in terms of the Jets, I mean, there's no way I would start him over Zach Wilson. I think Zach Wilson's better right now than Minshew.
He's never been better. Okay,
But
Jonathan?
he is now.
Well, that's why I think we'd have to. For me, it's the 5 week buffer.
Okay.
Because I actually would be wondering what the stats are.
Get him, make him learn the offense, then put him in. Jonathan?
The last thing you need is to get a random guy to start over Zach Wilson and lower his confidence. The only person that you should, they could get and then start him immediately is Tom Brady, and that wouldn't hurt, Zach Wilson's confidence. Like everybody knows that's Tom Brady. But Gardner Minshew, if you look at his QBR over the past few years, yes, he's had some sparks. Yes, he's had some great games, but in general, he's struggled throughout the season over the past few years. 2019 QBR 44.6, 2020 QBR 44, 2021 QBR 66, 2022 QBR 4.1. 41. And then 2023 so far, his QBR is 1.1 so far. So guys, look,
I mean,
he's had some splashes of greatness here and there, but unless he's Tom Brady or something like that, you can't just get him and start him over Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's growing. He's getting better and better every game. Okay, he's better than last year, and he's getting better and better every game with Aaron Rodgers, coaching him up a little bit. Gardner Minshew, you don't need him to just come in there and start and sort of like piss Zach Wilson off. The only person he wouldn't get pissed off of if they got Tom Brady. So yes, Zach Wilson start over Gardner Minshew.
How about Mitch Trubisky? Yes
Oh
or
my
no?
gosh,
No,
not a
no,
shot.
no.
Come on, keep him off.
Where's he?
I
Where's
wouldn't
he?
even want him as a backup.
Yeah, where's he at? Like, is he on the Steelers?
Steelers.
Yeah, come on.
I feel bad because our universal reaction was just immediately no.
We have so
get him
many.
outta
We have
here.
so many people from Chicago watching us, and they're going to be so
right.
disappointed.
If you can't win the starting position over Kenny Pickett, that's an issue.
What, you don't think Pickett's good?
He's not bad, but come on. With the experience that Trubisky has, he should be winning that starting position easily, and he's not doing it. So no.
How about Taylor Heineke?
No,
I don't like him.
He's on the
anymore, so no.
Falcons.
no.
Personal vendetta.
Are you
for what he
ki-
did against the Eagles? So
I
no.
say yes to this. I say yes all day long. You guys are just Commanders
I'm
haters.
biased.
Yeah, you guys are all
I
haters.
don't like the way he behaved.
What did he do? Did he do a first down? Marker?
Yeah, it was when somebody got
And,
Late
and he
hit.
flopped against the. Yeah,
oh yeah,
it
he
was
flopped.
something
It was the
dumb.
late hit. He got up and he was hype
Lost my
about
respect.
it.
Yeah,
I
so
liked him
mad.
before. Yeah, because the way we lost wasn't all right. This isn't about me. Although
is the
I'm
first-
using my personal views to say I don't want him.
Yeah,
on
this is
the Jets.
this is the first player Caleb actually doesn't like personally.
Yeah.
him and probably what? Yeah, him
Deshaun
and
Watson, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Two
saying
wildly
yes
different
to
reasons.
this
Let
all,
me just
all day, dude. I'm saying
point that
yes
out.
to this. This guy wins games. Like no matter what the stat line is, the guy wins games. That's what you want as a quarterback. All right, two more. We got as for trades. Tyler Huntley.
No,
Nope. Not a shot.
not a shot at all.
Okay. Jacoby Brisket from
No.
Washington
No.
Commanders.
No,
oh,
I would do it.
making me hungry.
Nope.
Yeah, I know, really.
All right, and the last guy, and this guy has been contacted by the Jets, so this is the only
No.
confirmed source. Get perked up, Jonathan. This guy played in a playoff game last year. Chad Henne from the University of Michigan, played in the Jags, was recently on the Kansas City Chiefs, played in a playoff game when Mahomes got injured,
Yeah.
and he ends up winning the game for him against the Jags.
That's interesting.
No, keep him off.
Yeah,
How is he-
He's kind of.
He's on a team right now, or
So
is
he just retired
That's what I thought.
in the
Okay.
off season, and he has been contacted.
I think he was he's in the Subway commercials, right? With Mahomes, I'm pretty sure. You guys know what I'm talking about? They don't sponsor.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he pops his head in the back. Yeah.
Yeah, because he did so well, and that was last year. But it's
Who-
with the
Honestly,
Chiefs.
he would be out of all the players you mentioned. You couldn't get me to pick a quarterback over Wilson, but Minshew I think would be the best backup option. But Henne I think is the second best backup option because he is a little bit older. He's not going to be able to start. He's not going to push for a starting job. But I like what Jonathan said, where you don't want to discourage Zach Wilson. So if Henne is there, Zach Wilson knows that he's not going to overtake him, but he's also there to provide him some advice. He's been around the block. He's won a playoff game last year, so he still is relevant in the league a little bit and knows the offenses and stuff. So I think he's probably either him and Minshew, I think, are the best options right now.
Henne is probably the most realistic, I'd say too, because they'd probably have to give up a lot for Minshew. Not a lot, but like relatively
Right.
speaking, if you could get Henne
For
just
nothing, yeah,
for the
just to sign him.
future. Yeah, because I think even Wilson, I mean, again, it's one of those situations that he was drafted into a team that was building, hasn't been able to really do well. But the understanding with getting Rodgers was that it was a 2-year contract. We know Rodgers was thinking retirement, so the Jets would. I think one of the kind of unspoken. I don't know if it was unspoken, but if I'm Wilson, I'm thinking, okay, I want to be starter, but I won't. I mean, it's obviously Aaron Rodgers. I'll have to learn under him for 2 years, but then I'll be able to like become something better. Maybe is what the hope was for the organization. Getting a guy like Minshew, it's almost entertaining the idea if like a Baker Mayfield being back there, like he could become the guy, could be the starter versus Henne being the security blanket and not that threat. Maybe that's a real thing to think about, as well as it'd be cheaper to get him. You'd probably have to give up a pick or two to get Minshew.
Yeah, you would.
So
Yeah, I still am going with Zach Wilson, guys. I think the thing is this: if you look at Joe Burrow and all these guys, Joe Burrow especially, you know why he's been, over the past years, he was doing pretty good with the obviously with LSU, but also with the Bengals. He trusts his receivers. He'll just throw them the ball, and he knows they'll get it. They're good enough to get it. I think you're seeing that in Zach Wilson now. He knows Garrett Wilson will make it, essentially any catch. So he's going to be more confident and throw it to him. Garrett Wilson, he wants the ball. He wants you to throw it to him, so he's not going to drop anything. That's why the good receivers catch everything, because they know if they drop something, they drop one or two, they're not going to get the ball as often. Zach Wilson is getting more confidence, guys. I'm on the Zach Wilson train. All those guys you said, no. Zach Wilson, yes.
This train's gonna crash, Jonathan. You got to get off, bro. You got to
You'll
get
see.
off.
You'll see.
Confidence.
Caleb,
You'll see.
Caleb, you
You'll see.
Did you say Chad Henne?
For the backup?
Yeah.
I'm not as confident as Jonathan. I will say Wilson's the guy.
Wow.
I'd say realistically, Henny would be a good number 2.
Okay, so at the end of all of
Yeah.
this, Jonathan, I think you only said like Matt Ryan, and then John, you only said Chad Henne, and then Caleb, you said a couple people. You said Minshew,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, guys, you're acting like Zach Wilson won him the game. They won on a punt return in overtime.
He won him the game. He threw it to.
No,
Wilson.
I think no. Honestly, Zach Wilson didn't win the game. Josh Allen lost the game. That's
Okay. So
But
where's his
still,
confidence with
Interesting.
Zach Wilson?
I'm just saying he knows he's not a scrub. He doesn't suck.
He does, John. He does. He does.
I mean, it's borderline, but he doesn't suck yet. He still is 1-0 this year. So
How much more can we see before we're like, yeah,
Dude.
he's definition.
dude, he
I don't
doesn't.
understand.
Like Jonathan said, he doesn't need to do that much. Throw it in Garrett Wilson's vicinity, hand it off to Cook and
All right.
Breece Hall.
He
That's
made
it.
he made some good throws to Garrett Wilson. He made some good throws to Lazard. Yeah, I know y'all saw some of those throws. People thought he was gonna like do something crazy, but he threw a bullet right to them, and those were crucial plays. So when the plays needed to be made, he made it, and that's what happened. That's what you see with great players. Some plays aren't always gonna go their way, but the crucial plays, the critical plays, he made it yesterday.
All right.
So
Well-
let's not be too quick to.
Too quick. The guy
disparage Zach Wilson.
sucks. I've seen him too many times. Too many. If
You're
I
talking
see him
about
one more
last year.
time, I'm gonna throw up.
Hey, get a fresh mind. It's the new year. Let's see what he can do going forward. Don't think about last year.
Last one, John, because I know you're gonna say yes to this one. Mike White.
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
Got him. Let's
Mike
go.
White. Mike
Yes.
White should be starting on this team instead of Zach Wilson.
Boom.
I didn't think
Ooh.
you would get me to say
Boom.
any player, but Mike
Wait, where's-
White he's right now on the backup for the Dolphins. He's the number 2, but Mike White needs to be brought back on the Jets. I don't know why they let him go. He should be the starter on the Jets. Zach Wilson should be the backup. I don't understand why this guy doesn't have an opportunity to start in this league.
John, the last time that Aaron Rodgers went down with an injury and they were looking for a replacement was the day we started the podcast in 2017, and you pulled out of your ass Nick Foles.
I said
and
Nick Foles should be brought back into this league, and I got a huge laugh out of Jonathan, and he was
What?
the Super
And I
Bowl
agreed-
winning quarterback
I
that
agreed with you.
year.
I agreed with him actually.
No, let's pull up the tape. Pull it up.
Roll the clip.
Backup quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. Do you know who that is?
Nick Foles.
That's Nick Foles. Yes. I love him. Hold on. Hold on. Stop laughing because I know you love it.
Yeah, that was just really funny. I thought, John, you'd have some sneaky player coming out of your pocket, but you're confident in Zach Wilson, so
I
kudos
do.
to you.
I wonder why they let go of Mike White. I mean, he had that great game. I think he was like the fantasy leader, and then he had another game where he started and it wasn't quite as good. But I would
They were
want that
scared
question
he was
answered.
Too good. Like he's
Yeah,
a
like,
little
was it-
too good.
Was he like a threat to Wilson?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they're like, get him
probably.
out of here.
The height, yeah, guys. Wilson's ceiling is still high. Mike White, you already know what you're gonna get. But
No,
guys,
Mike,
if
White,
Nah, dude.
Mike White could be better.
all Wilson needs is confidence, guys. I see the
That's
talent.
the
in him.
problem. He can't get it.
No, he's got it.
Wilson's
Last
only
night he got
Nobody
it.
24.
likes him. None of the fans really like him. How is he going to get confidence?
He get by playing good. He did it yesterday. He was
All
confident
right,
yesterday.
all right.
You'll see it. Watch. I can't wait.
I'm glad, Jonathan, that you're so bullish on this, or bearish on. Wait, no, bullish.
Bullish,
Yeah, bullish
yes.
on this guy. I'm glad because we can look back on this and
Yes, please.
just yeah.
Remember this.
Okay,
You did call the
Let's-
upset, so
you did. Fair play to you. Speaking of the upset, we're gonna go into lock and upset. The schedule right now, we are on to lock and upset and cue the graphic for the leaderboard because we have a change, ladies and gentlemen. John has been dethroned.
No.
He has been dethroned. This graphic doesn't have John's ugly mug at the top now.
Oh,
It's
wow.
got Caleb's ugly mug at the top.
Hey,
So, Caleb, you are 2-0 for the first time. You are in
it's a
first
rare
place.
feeling.
Does it feel good?
Yeah, I don't think I can't remember the last time I got to feel this way. So it's nice.
It's a little bit sad, honestly, to hear that.
I'm not used to this.
Well, it won't last long because John's serious now.
You're probably
this
right.
is
Yeah, it
it.
starts now. Now
It
for real.
starts now.
He told me yesterday, he's like, I'm actually pissed now. So he's actually pissed. And you know how that is. John's never going to miss a freaking pick now. All right. So the standings goes Caleb's first, and then I'm second because I make the graphic, and then Jonathan's third, and then John is dead last.
Yes,
So
I get first pick. Yeah.
That's what I'm that's what I'm scared of. getting the
John
last pick
gets
here.
first pick for the first time ever in the history of Lock and Upset.
For the first time ever, you guys are in for a 2-0 week from me.
Welcome to my shoes. Only I never get the 2-0 week.
So, John, we left you with the best game.
You guys, I don't know why you left me with the best game, but you did.
All right, John, so give me your lock for week 2.
My lock is just so easy, so I'm already 1-0. Let's just consider it that. The 49ers are going to beat the Rams in LA. I know the Rams put up a good showing against the Seahawks and actually won the game, but there is no way without Cooper Kupp that they beat this 49ers defense. It's just impossible. Brock Purdy is exactly who I thought he was going to be. He is going to be the guy in San Francisco, so 49ers will win.
And what's the line?
It's -8.
Okay.
For the 49ers.
Jonathan, you are up next.
So my lock is the Chiefs defeating the Jags. Look,
Yes.
Really?
the Chiefs have a
Yes.
they have a
0-1
bad,
already.
they have a bad
Sure
they,
you
they,
want
they have a bad taste in their mouth. Okay, from that loss. Okay, and then guess what? Chris Jones is back, so now they have a little pressure. They have a little bit more defense help. You think Patrick Mahomes is really going to lose 2 in a row? No, I don't think so. I trust this guy. Chiefs are going to win.
Wow. Okay. I guess I'm up, and I'm gonna go pretty. I think it might be the easiest one the whole schedule. Primetime game. It's gonna be a primetime game this week. I'm going Dolphins over the Patriots.
That's bold.
Is it bold?
Yeah,
They just
-2.
they killed the Chargers.
I know, but the Patriots only lost by they actually didn't look bad against the Eagles. So
And Belichick's smart enough to he's going to do something to stop Tyreek Hill. He's not dumb.
no, he can't. He's not going to be able to stop Tyreek. I don't know what he's going to do.
He's going to make somebody else beat him. That's what
No,
I'm
it's
saying.
impossible.
He's going to be like 2-3.
Go out there
You
and beat
can't.
him.
You can't defend him. What do you do?
Put
We all
2
know
people
that-
back there. So,
You
like,
can't. That's not enough.
Bring the fucking National Guard. Get them in here. No, I mean the Dolphins will crush them, and we all know the Eagles were just playing around.
Stop.
It was a preseason game, basically.
No, it wasn't.
All right, Caleb, with the last
Okay.
pick, we left you with the
I'm
best one.
surprised. There's some bigger margins there. I mean, the Chiefs are -3, Dolphins -2. John, that was probably my first pick. Was the
Yep.
so congratulations, you did get the best
I
one.
did get the best one.
I think I'm gonna pick for my lock. I'm gonna pick the Bills over the Raiders.
Oh, Josh Allen and his 4 turnovers.
I think they're gonna
Okay.
come back much like Mahomes in a similar way. They're 9.5-point favorites, the Bills.
really?
Wow.
So it's really more to say how little. Devontae, but how little confidence I have with the Raiders. Garoppolo, versus the Bills' potential to come back. I think that's what the lines say too. But yeah, I mean the Eagles are also -7, but I don't know why it's that big of a margin because the Vikings are going to put up a great fight. So I don't know what they're thinking.
Man, I didn't get to say my soliloquy on Josh Allen, but it's okay.
Oh, don't worry, he'll suck even more, and you'll have plenty of options to be able
Yeah,
to.
it'll be
say
I
how
have so
he
much to
sucks.
say about him. So much to say.
Nothing you've already said before.
Well, do you guys know he hasn't won an overtime game? People said,
Yeah.
"Oh, change the overtime rules. Oh, if you change the overtime rules, the Bills are gonna go to the Super Bowl." All that they changed it. He hasn't won overtime since. He still hasn't won
That was
overtime in his life.
It's an interesting stat. I will say the overtime rules, the new ones, only apply in the playoffs,
Yeah, you still
Yeah,
can't
good
win.
point. Yeah.
where both teams have to get a chance at it.
Yeah, good
But you're right. Had the Bills got the ball first, so had they scored right away, it would have been game over. So
Yeah.
Let's
And
go
this
for.
is sorry. This is year 6. This is unacceptable. His mind. I don't know what's going on. I guess his confidence is gone or something. But this is too much. He did it last year. He's doing it again. The ball hit his chest. That fourth one, I couldn't believe it. The ball hit his chest. Like, come on. That's what Jeff Sims did last week against Colorado on Nebraska. You can't be doing that. That's not the play of a champion. Okay, I'm done.
Maybe his confidence down because he listens to our podcast. He's like, Jonathan just doesn't like me.
Yeah, I can't win. I've seen enough. Like, you can't win. You can't win a Super Bowl. Simple.
Nothing
I've said
nice to say about Josh Allen.
Josh Allen or Zach Wilson?
Josh Allen. I'm saying it. He's not going to win the Super Bowl. He doesn't have it in him.
Here's my question. Last thing, Jonathan, why did you pick Josh Allen as your fantasy quarterback again if you hate him so much?
I don't hate him, but I've seen
What?
enough.
If you don't hate him, I'd like to. I would love to see who you actually hate.
Don't get me wrong. He's like Philip Rivers. He's gonna have some great regular season games. He's gonna be a superstar and stuff. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty in the playoffs, when you want him to win, and when it comes to the clutch plays, he's not gonna be able to.
Well, what about when you're in your fantasy playoffs? You think he'll clutch up for that?
That's why I have Lamar Jackson. I have Lamar Jackson.
You have insurance.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I think I picked Josh Allen first. Then I was like, okay, wait, I gotta get somebody
That's right.
else.
I do
Yeah.
The
remember.
duality of Jonathan.
All right. Upset for John. You get first pick. Here we go.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You're left with the easiest one.
Guys, the easiest upset of the week.
Uh-huh.
No, but I have to get this right because I have the first pick. So
Okay,
it's kind of embarrassing if I don't go 2-0 this week.
I know who you're gonna pick.
Who?
It's harder than
Say
it
it.
looks.
I know who you're gonna pick. Go ahead.
No, you don't.
You're gonna pick the Jags and the Chiefs.
Nope.
Okay.
Good guess though, because I was going to pick them. But you made a good point about Chris Jones, so I think that's going to make a little bit of a difference. And the Chiefs had like 10 days to prepare. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, Jared is not going to like this pick because I am picking the New England Patriots to defeat the Miami Dolphins on Sunday Night Football in Gillette Stadium.
But they can't stop Tyreek Hill.
They will. No, they'll limit him. He's not going to go off. But the thing is, if you stop Tyreek, then Tua just throws uncatchable passes. I mean,
He threw for the most yards last week.
exactly. There's a lot of tape to go off of. He exposed all his good plays. I don't know why they did that in week one. All their good plays are out there.
Eagles and Patriots are just not showing their best.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Those are fighting
It is
words,
for me.
John.
Hey, if Ramondre Stevenson goes off, he's my running back, so
Yeah.
I won't be.
So, number 2, Jonathan, what is your upset?
My upset.
Mind you, may I remind you that the Jets play the Cowboys.
the Jets
your,
could upset.
Your heart,
I mean,
your
Zach
heart is
Wilson.
divided.
Not to convince you, they are probably the biggest margin. They're like plus 8.5.
That's the biggest margin of the week.
That's gonna be a good game. They both have really great defenses. That's gonna be a really good game. But I'm gonna have to go with this. I'm going to pick. Okay. Because I want to say this one game, but like I think this team I'm about to say is projected win. But
Let's
Pick your
I'll
lock
tell
and
you.
then mention the second one.
Okay.
You did that last week, and I enjoyed hearing your other option, which I think was the Browns, actually. So you were right. It wouldn't have counted. We did establish that. So if
Okay.
you want to give your lock,
Okay.
or you will give your official response.
okay,
and then
I think
mention.
the Broncos are favored to beat the Commanders.
Yes,
Right?
they are
Okay.
they are favored.
Okay, then I think the Commanders are going to beat the Broncos.
Really?
That's your official input.
So that was one of them, but my official one.
Wait, whoa.
No. What's your on? Okay,
Okay, fine,
what's
fine,
your
fine.
official?
I don't
upset?
want to know two. Just give me one.
Okay,
Give me
fine.
your most confident.
Okay, you said my most confident one.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, don't you want to win? Lock it up. What are you going to choose your least
I
confident?
mean, yeah, if it's not John's, yeah.
Okay, here we go. I'm choosing. Goodness gracious. I'm choosing the.
Just for everybody listening, we just came up with this segment. We've never done this before. So it's a lot for Jonathan to
No,
figure
because
out.
I'm doing any mini money.
SpongeBob right now.
I'm selecting between two. I don't want to be wrong, but okay, fine. You know what? Ah, dang it! All right, fine. I'm just gonna choose the Commanders and the Broncos.
All right.
That is a good one. I like that one.
That
That's
was
your
scene.
upset.
That was,
Yeah, because
It's hard now that we're yeah.
All right. So my upset is going to be one of the Monday night games, and it's the Carolina Panthers over the New Orleans Saints.
No,
Uh-oh.
Bryce Young.
They
Really?
are.
that's a good one.
They are 3.5 point favorites. The Saints are. Look, Bryce Young, he had a decent game. Could have beaten the Falcons, But I think Monday Night Football lights shine bright. Bryce Young shows up in these games, right, Jonathan?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So I think this is going to be the time he gets his first win. He shows up. He debuts. He beats Derek Carr. The Saints defense is nothing to brush off. This Saints defense is very, very good, so it's going to be a challenging game for him. But it's a statement win. This Bryce Young win is going to be a statement win, and he's going to show that he was the number one pick, guys. People forget. He's the number one pick, not Anthony Richardson. It was Bryce Young. So let's put him back on the map, guys, and this is going to be the time to do it.
It's a bold pick. I respect that. That's that. Good. What?
Caleb, you're up.
If I would it count as an upset? The Falcons are 1.5 point underdogs.
Yeah, that would count. You could pick Falcons.
It's just kind of. I know it's the last.
Who are they playing?
Pick, so it's
Packers.
The Packers.
Ooh,
that's a good.
I
that's
think
a good
that's game. Like how good the Packers did. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with them as my upset. That the Falcons will beat the Packers. I think it'll be a good game. I know it's one of the slimmer margins for the upset, but I have Bijan Robinson. I kind of want to see the Falcons, potentially be dark horse candidates. But that's also to say it's also a test for me to watch how legit Love is. I think it's going to be a good fight. I mean that it'll be the run defense of the Packers in large part, but they have some good studs on receiving too. But I think I like that pick. I like the Falcons.
I love that pick, guys. That's a really great pick. And honestly, if he wins that game, I would start to love, and you can take that however
that game.
Like.
That's an easy game for him.
It's not that difficult.
So you guys would disagree with me?
Falcons are my division winner. So
well, you're wrong really about that. So
all right,
has it happened yet? I don't think
divided
it's happened yet. Because the Saints are going to lose.
Saints
Falcons
are going to win the division. It's already locked up.
The script came out. We already know.
They only won by 1 point at the
Jared,
Dome.
script leaked already, right?
They had Aaron Rodgers tear his Achilles, dude. The script. Dude, the writers are on strike, I thought.
That's true. That's why the Jets are also they have 5 primetime games now. Because it was suspected Rodgers.
Oh, God. Oh, I can't wait. Because you guys asked for this. You asked for Zach Wilson, and now he's going to prime time. At least I'll get to go to bed early.
Who knows
the defense
the
is top tier.
Something.
They have guys on every level, from defensive linemen all the way to the secondary. So this is a good defense to watch.
Yeah.
If I started the Jets defense, I would have beat you, John.
Oh, wow.
That's how many points they got.
Jared, you didn't start the Cowboys defense either.
I didn't. I really, honestly thought the Jags were going to kill the Colts. And I thought the Giants would be a little low-scoring game. So that was my fault. They scored 30 points, and I won anyway, so it is what it is. But, yeah, that does hurt.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, that does it for episode 3 of the Roommate Podcast Season 4. We are well on our way. And the NFL season is just getting started, and I just can't believe that week 1's over. I feel like it's been like halfway through the season. So many things have happened, but we're super excited to continue this. And if you aren't following on TikTok and on Instagram, it's at Dornbait Podcast. Go hit us a follow over on there. If you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, guys, I don't know if you guys noticed, we hit 4,000 subscribers on YouTube.
I did. Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. I've been wanting to hit 4K for a long freaking time. So we broke that barrier, and now we're only going up. Now I want 5K. So, and it better not take as long. So,
wow. Threatening our audience.
Yeah, it's not a threat. It's a suggestion. Thank you guys again so much for watching and listening, and we will see you guys as always next week.